can't see it. Oh.
And now the news is good with Matthew Martin.
I'm Matthew Martin, and the news is good. Tonight, be careful who you get in bed with. Who? Whom you get in bed? About the people you get in bed with, be careful about them. Let me start by summarizing Numbers 22 through Numbers 24. Balak, king of Moab, he's afraid of Israel. He hires Balaam. God sends an angel, redirects Balaam's donkey, possesses the donkey, and eventually puts a blessing in the mouth of Balaam as opposed to the curse he was hired to do. And when the whole ordeal is over, Balaam blesses Israel, and Israel is spared from the curse. That takes us to Numbers 25, verses 1 and 2. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. So let me get this straight. God does all that amazing stuff in the previous chapters. He sends the angel, he possesses the donkey, he puts a word of blessing in the mouth of Balaam, all for the purpose of saving Israel from the wrath of Moab, only for the people to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Like, Balaam blessed the people from without, but then Israel turns and curses themselves from within. That's where Balak went wrong. Really, he never should have wasted his time and money trying to hire the prophet to curse the people. If he just waited a day or two, those guys would have happily done themselves in. Israel has been camped at Shittim for some time, and they are at the edge of the promised land, just east of the Jordan River. You would think that they would remember what happened the last time they were this close to Canaan. Alas, they get in bed with the Moabites, like literally. And what followed is as predictable as it is tragic. They begin sacrificing to the Moabite gods. Why is it when God's people integrate with the pagans that it's the pagans who steer God's people to paganism? Why is it almost never the other way around, with God's people steering pagans to true worship? Why does the world have such an easy sway, and why is it almost always an uphill battle to get people of the world to follow God? The world offers what God does not. The world offers convenience, comfortability, conformity. The world offers a sense of normalcy. You can be like everyone else, do whatever you want, and never feel out of place or unusual. The Israelites offered forbidden pagan sacrifices, and they bowed down to forbidden pagan gods, and they ate forbidden pagan foods, and all it took was for some foreign women to bat their eyelashes, and they folded like a cheap suit. Beware who you share a bed with. You will almost always end up blending more than bodies. You'll blend beliefs and customs too. And the New Testament warns about this very thing. 1 Corinthians 15:33, evil companionship corrupts good morals, Paul says. Bad company tends to corrupt good character. 2 Corinthians 6:14, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. What fellowship does righteousness have with unrighteousness? Or what communion does light have with darkness? This is not a text talking about marriage. It's talking about any kind of influence. Anything that shapes your teaching, whether that be teachers or influencers or friends or business partners or romantic interests. Israel yoked themselves to Moab, and Moab pulled them straight into idolatry. Instead of blending in, we should be transformed, Romans 12:2. The world is telling us to fit in, to blend in, to conform, not to stand out. But no, even if it hurts, we are called to stand firm and stand out. 1 Peter 3:14. If you suffer for righteous sake, happy are you. Don't be afraid of their terror. Don't be troubled. Standing apart from the world, it may cost you. It may cost you friends or opportunities or comfort or popularity, but Peter says it is worth it. It is always better to suffer on God's side than to slide in bed with Moab, because Moab is going to be destroyed, and you don't have to be destroyed with them. You don't have to suffer with them. You can be on God's side, and you can be blessed. Moab is going to be destroyed, and you don't have to be. God is going to live forever, and you can live forever with him if you will just side with him and stick with him forevermore. God bless. I hope you've had a great day today. My prayer for you as we start to wind this day down is that you will take an honest look at whatever it is that's holding you back from doing more for God. If it is the case that you are the kind of person who has reached a level of spiritual satisfaction where you look back on your life over the past year or maybe even just a few months and you say, I think I'm doing okay. I think everything's just fine. Okay, I'm not going to knock that, but I want you to be aware of the danger in that and to appreciate the fact that God always wants you growing, because he knows that if you ever stop growing, you start stagnating, and sure enough, you'll start slipping. So stop and take an evaluation of yourself and say, all right, a year ago I was doing that and now I'm doing this. I've grown that much. Good. That didn't just happen accidentally. It happened with steady growth, with a dedication and desire to do more for God. So now look ahead to next year and say, I want to do that. Start working now to get to that level a year from now. That's my prayer for you today, that you won't rest on your laurels or just be satisfied with where you are, that you will constantly be looking to draw closer to Christ, closer to his word, closer to God every day of your life. Do that, and you'll have not only a great day, but a good rest of your life. God bless.